Hello, it's Average Row, and welcome to a new series that I'm calling Goodbye RuneScape. Um, I just got off the back of beating a really long game called Ghost of Tsushima. Uh, please check that out if you haven't watched it yet. We had lots of fun in that playthrough. I thoroughly enjoyed that game, and I was kind of scrambling, to be honest, to think of what I wanted to stream. What do I feel like streaming right now? And like I said, I just played Ghost, which was like 50 plus hours long. And then before that, I played Spider-Man, which was like another 40 something hours. So I've been playing lots of long games recently. And, when I started this Twitch channel, I wanted to really get into all types of games. You know what I mean? Not just the long story games. I wanted to do pretty much anything that I liked playing. And, if you're anything like me, you've played RuneScape at least once in your life. And I just so happen to be one of those people that kind of never quit. I've always been a casual player, but I'll get more into that in a little bit. But yeah, RuneScape's always been a big part of my gaming life, I guess you could say. And I actually did make... this is my second time streaming this game. The first time I streamed it was when I was streaming my very first level 99, and that was really fun. But I never really thought I'd really play this game again on Twitch. But yet here we are, because again, like I said, I wanted to think of a game that I wanted to stream and maybe make a mini series out of, and that's where we find ourselves today. So thank you all for joining. I hope you stick around even if you don't really like RuneScape, because this is going to be a bit more of a chill stream. Ghost of Tsushima was quite the depressing game, and if you've played the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's pretty depressing. So I wanted something lighthearted. I want something fun and short that I could do. And you might be thinking to yourself, if you know what RuneScape is, like, it's not a story game. It's definitely not short. So what do you mean short? So why don't we go ahead and get into that? And also note that I am messing around with new stream settings, switching in between scenes and things like that, which I've never really done live before on stream. And if you've ever watched my content, you'll know I pretty much just start the game and that's it. I don't really move my cam around or anything like that, but I'm going to be trying something new since this is a newer game, and I feel like it'll make the viewing experience for you all a little bit better. So yeah, anyway. I put together this super quick slideshow at the last minute because I didn't want to just be talking at you guys, and not having any visual aids. So I went back to my high school or college days and threw together this really, really cheap PowerPoint. So please excuse the lack of effort. But again, I wanted to at least have something on the screen without just me talking to you guys. Talking at you guys better is a better way to say that. Anyway, so if everything's all right, yeah. So just a little bit of background on me. Again, I'm not going to be taking too long, don't worry. But I did want to have context because RuneScape has a very deep-rooted community of a lot of veteran players, specifically RS3, RuneScape 3, and which is what I'm playing right now. And I wanted to clarify where I stand on that. Am I like the super advanced player or a more casual player? And like I mentioned earlier, and as you guys can see, I'm a super casual player. I've played since I was in grade school, and even in high school, I never really stopped. Even when I was in high school, I still played it, somewhat regularly. And that kind of started dying off in college, but I'll get to that in a bit. But basically, throughout my time playing RuneScape, I never did PvP. I never went into the wilderness or did any high stakes or anything like that. I really just skilled and quested. That's it. I didn't really bother because I wasn't really confident in my abilities, and I didn't want to lose the stuff I worked for, So I never really did PvP. That's really all you need to hear, honestly. If you've played the game and are a hardcore RuneScape player, knowing that I never did PvP, that gives you the perfect idea of what kind of RuneScape player I've been over the past 15 plus years that I've had an account that I've regularly played. I would always use quest guides. I was never really like a purist in the sense where I wanted to figure things out on my own. mainly because I started, when I was in grade school, like I'm sure many of you guys did. Um, and my middle school brain was not smart enough to solve the simple RuneScape puzzles. I always use quest guides, and that's just what I was used to. You know what I mean? Um, and then I have their lore just because I'm not really. I mean, there was a moment in time where I was really into the lore, and I could pretty much walk you through a lot of the Fifth Age lore and stuff. But believe me when I say, since then, I am super rusty. I can barely remember a lot of the quest characters' names and things like that. So please forgive me in that regard. But you'll see. I'll probably start picking up on things as I play through the quest. And another big thing is I have used bonds, and I know bonds have been a big topic. Saying like it killed the game or killed the economy or whatever. But again, like I said, I'm a very, very casual RuneScape player. It's always just been something I did more in my free time when I wasn't in the middle of a big game, like a story game or anything like that. So I mainly used bonds because of, if you don't know what bonds are, it's basically a way for you to use in real life money to buy in-game currency. Which has become super popular nowadays in games. And the only reason I ever would buy a bond was because I found myself, as you can see at the bottom, in college and pretty much up until now, I've really only played 2 months max a year, and that's just because I would buy membership for a bit, get my fill of RuneScape, and then just kind of my interest would die out, and then next year it would pick up again, and the cycle would repeat, for years on end. And I just didn't have time to grind for money the way I usually would, because why would I spend my 2 months grinding for money to buy the high level stuff I need when I could just spend the money I've earned as a hardworking adult now, so I can actually get to the meat of the game. So that's the only reason I ever bought bonds. But anyway, I just mentioned that because I wanted to give you guys an idea that I am a very, very casual RuneScape player, and I've only gone to the level I am just because of the sheer amount of time I've been playing this game. I think we all, as gamers, have that one game that you've just played for a ridiculous amount of hours that, not that you're embarrassed to say, but if you were to tell somebody, they would be shocked, and RuneScape is definitely mine. So moving on, speaking of moving on, again, like I mentioned, I just haven't been able to play as much as I would like, and I say that as if my life's preventing me from playing, but I guess a better way to say that is my interest has just been dying out, but I've spent so much time in this game that, I don't want to just cut cold turkey, because, the meme goes like, you never really quit RuneScape, but, I just found the game at the level I am to be just too grindy for me, too much grinding for levels and for gear that I want and things like that. And there's just so many other great games that I've always preferred to play that have come along, like just recently I got into Final Fantasy XIV, another MMO that I think is gonna, take over this whole niche for me in the near future. And then also I'm making content, like I said, I just played Ghost, Spider-Man, things like that, and I find myself with less and less time to play RuneScape, and really that just made me feel like it's time to finally and definitively lay my account to rest, and I've played this game for 15 years, I've had this account for 15 plus years, and it's always been a game I could come back to, but again, I've reached this point in the game and in my life in general where I just don't see myself playing this game, ever again after this. So, and I've had this on my mind for quite some time, and a few years ago, I actually set out. I gave myself an objective. What could I have my account's grand finale be? Like, once I do this, I'll finally quit RuneScape 3 for good. And I decided, again, this was a few years ago, that, okay, since I'm kind of being burnt out on RuneScape permanently and I'm finding myself with less and less time to play the game, I'm just going to beat all the 5th Age quests and then end it by beating the Sliske quest series. If you're not familiar with the game, 5th Age quest, it refers to quests or missions, I guess, is a more generic word for them. But a lot of RuneScape purists would hate me calling quests missions. But so quests in the game, story-wise, that take place at a certain amount of time, or a specific time, which is the 5th age. When RuneScape first started, it was the 5th age, and then this certain quest got released called The World Wakes. I think that came out in like 2012 or 2014 or something. And that World Wakes was like a super high level quest that marked the end of the 5th age of the storyline quests and began the 6th age of the storyline quests. So now any new most new quests that are released today are 6th age quests, and the 6th age quests, I haven't really got into too many of them because, again, my time in this game has been slowly dying since, the mid 2010s. So yeah, that was what I decided to do before I finally quit the game. But like I said, I just haven't got around to it, But again, I want to get to it eventually, and that's why I decided to make this series, And I picked the Sliske quest series to be my grand finale of my RuneScape account, because, like I mentioned, the quest series started in the 5th age, and the quests that kind of I don't think the World Wakes is a requirement for the Sliske quest series, but the quests involved and associated with the quest series commenced the 6th age and kind of ended. You know what I mean? In the 6th age. So I felt like, and the final quest in the series is Sliske's Endgame. I don't even know if I'm saying Sliske right, but Sliske's Endgame is a Grandmaster quest, the highest level quest in the game, and I just felt like it was an appropriate way to kind of give my account a final send-off. So because Sliske's Endgame was released in 2016, I'm not really ever interested in doing any quests or content released post 2016, and even if it was like a 5th age quest that just so happened to say or be released in 2016 and whatnot. So that would include I know recently the city of Manafos had this whole quest line released that takes place in the 5th age, but they were all released post Sliske's Endgame, so I'm not really going to do that ever. And I know like the Pirate quest series had a finale as well that was released. I'm not going to do that, even though the Pirate Quest series started in the 5th age. I'm not going to bother doing that because it was released post-2016. And most notably, the Elder Gods quest series, which is, I guess, it took over as the big high-level quest series after Sliske's Endgame concluded the Sliske quest series. But again, I'm not really interested in being that, just because that's just even more grinding and just, again, I think the finale was just released last month. I think the quest is called Extinction or something like that. But again, that's all post Sliske, and I'm just not interested in doing that, because if I do let myself get into that, it's just I'm gonna let this whole on and off cycle of just only playing for 2 months just go on for years and years and years more. Because believe me, I am very slow at progression in this game. Hence, the casualness of my intro and my account. So. But yeah, so that's kind of why I chose the Sliske quest series to be the ending of my RuneScape account. So that's why, again, I am doing this Goodbye RuneScape series or mini series, because I finally want, not that I'm tired of this game, or else I wouldn't even bother playing it. I'm really doing this because I respect my time and I value the time I put into this game and how much it's kind of meant to me over the course of my life. I wanted to give it a proper send-off. Not many people make a big deal of beating the Sliske quest series, or even just questing in RuneScape in general. Most RuneScape content on Twitch and YouTube isn't just casual questing. But that's what I find myself doing here, because again, the important thing for me is just giving my account a proper send-off, and I wanted to be able to make content out of it, so one, I could remember it and revisit it if I ever feel like it, and two, just share it with you all, since again, my Twitch channel and YouTube channel are really about documenting my journey as a gamer, and my fun adventures I go on, and great moments that I have. So in that sense, RuneScape has to be a part of that, and this is gonna be it, my Goodbye RuneScape RuneScape series. So anyway, that was my super long intro. I don't even know how long I've been going on, but and if I rushed through it, I apologize, but I also didn't want to just go on and on and on. I think I've been talking for like 15 or so minutes now. But yeah, that's it. So just to recap, I felt like doing a mini series just because I've played too many long games recently, and I keep finding myself unable to play RuneScape just because life gets in the way and I'm more interested in other games. But I've spent so much time playing this game that I wanted to give it a proper send-off, and I've chosen the Sliske quest series and beating that quest series to be my final goodbye for this historical and amazing game. So that's where I find myself now. Oh, what's up? I got NFT enthusiast, like your name. What makes you want to quit? I kind of got into that, so I'll just go ahead and say it again. For me, I've always been a casual player. Always been a casual player. So I find myself with less and less time to play the game. So I'm trying to get into more other games and making other content, but I did want to pay respect to my time casually playing this game for years and years and years. So that's why I've chosen these final quests to kind of conclude that. So yeah, I'm going to move on now. I thank you all for joining. So yeah, we're going to get into it. I'm going to explain the meat of this series now, and that is I've played through the Sliske's quest series for a while now, and I've kind of gone to 5 final quests that I want to complete. So obviously, the first one is going to be Kindred Spirits, which is an experience level quest. I'm pretty sure it's part of the Sliske's quest series, but it is a quest that's kind of involved with all that. I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to move into Nomad's Elegy, the sequel to Nomad's Requiem. It's a master level quest, and that is a requirement for Sliske's Endgame. So I'll be doing that. And then River of Blood. I don't believe River of Blood is a requirement, but it is probably one of my favorite quest series. It's part of the Myarchy quest series, and again, one of my favorite RuneScape quest series. So I definitely wanted to beat that. And I also think it's a 5th age quest, if I remember correctly. So definitely planning on doing that. It is a Grandmaster quest, so that's probably going to be pretty tough for me. Again, casual player here, but we're gonna try our best. And then Children of Ma is the penultimate quest in the Sliske quest series. And then that is a Grandmaster quest, so that is going to take place before the finale, Sliske's Endgame. So again, like I mentioned, it is the final quest I'm going to do ever on my RuneScape account. It is a Grandmaster quest and marks the end of the Sliske quest series. So yeah, I was kind of taken aback by that comment. I'm not going to read it out, but yeah, I'm not surprised that was meant for another stream. But either way, I thank you guys for joining. Tabasco Runturinator? I'm not really sure if I'm saying that right. Thank you all for joining. New to RuneScape. Wow, okay, cool. I'm not sure if I'm no, I don't want to say that. I am definitely sure that I'm not the best content creator to watch if you're new to RuneScape, because this is my first ever RuneScape content on my Twitch channel. I'm a super small channel, and I also don't play RuneScape that often. So, but either way, I'm glad you guys are here, and I guess I don't imagine there's too many RuneScape players like me making content, just because most RuneScape content creators, there are really, really great RuneScape content creators out there. I really advise you guys, if you're interested in that, to go check, do some research and find some of them. They're doing a lot of the fun, cutting edge stuff like, Hardcore Iron Man and things like that. But I'm very much a casual, just quester, basically. So yeah. Yeah, I read out comments. Yeah. If I as long as they're appropriate. So I mean, yeah, you can feel free to chat. I like when I got new people in chat, and that I get to kind of talk to while I play, especially since this is going to be more of a chill stream and a chill series as a whole. It's not really one of my heavy story and oriented series like Ghost of Tsushima was, which I recently played. I've plugged that playthrough like 3 times already in this series, so I swear this is a RuneScape stream, not a Ghost of Tsushima stream. I literally just beat it last week, so but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on now. That's pretty much all I had to say. That's my intro. So I'm gonna try to go about this kind of balancing out the terminology. Like, I know I might have some people on, live or maybe later on my YouTube channel that don't really play RuneScape, but just, want to follow along. So I'm going to try to talk casually, but if I spend too much time explaining stuff, then a lot of the people who know the game will kind of get disinterested. So I'll keep a good balance, but yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the game. And I think I'm going to go ahead and like switch to like an intermission screen real quick so that I can cut it when I upload this to YouTube. I'll probably, when I upload this to my YouTube channel, I'll like cut the intro off and then start the next episode when I start actually playing the game. But, since I'm live right now, I'll just cut to the intermission screen while I switch over to the other game, or to RuneScape, and then I'll be right back. So thank you all for joining, and I'll see you all literally in a couple minutes here.